go slow kakra 2020 but then oye party ni mapa the last time na chese o hwe eye primary sa omo ananke pese etu franka edema osno kokroko party eye NPP o indicate say obeko na odene hunsu agim. He was the youngest amongst the lot. But actually, no, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Erini Yeno, who throw the support Edema Alaji, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And then every opening a energy expert. Yebuto Dwana Yedim, sir, or ye energy expert. And every opening a would you be so I don't know, ebe to adwene atwetwe komo within a year energy ne employer party by the abetwetwe ho komo nyina enti ene awie owura Kwajo Nsafua Poku is my guest on the show na meba be mana kwaba ya the cameras to the swaba na kwaba yemu bi there behind the scenes ebia so person behind the scenes na adwuma ya ye wa chinchi wa fidie ni bi so pen ai enti opo onpo and also those days was it at the braka that just behind the 1 and 2 what you say aha enti I don't know the mumudu do that ya na mundim sa story no behind the 1 and 2 power why power ho adwuma pen pa but mumudu do that mundim sa story enti a very good afternoon. You warmly welcome Mr. Kwajo Nsafua Poku.
Yeah, that's it.
Yamiato Poku. Na also weird.
Kakra. Eja yaba kumasi aneja mustation ya maswa na ese yene mwandini ye. Intinem se yinyina na osi yinyia na yebibia WONTUMI ya yebe support mu. Na emi osefo pese okangudie enso nyame wase ntide enyiye yebehwe na ejina afane ntumapa asan frabio but the woman say yede nkranfo nchia na ebremu yejiomuso esa mawakwaba ediba waudi asante bantem hade ye waudi no crap na me the edikan me hu say be ka behind the 1 and 2 no na onwe do to odadim anaya na mpese odadim sa story no do to odan shada dim sa story say nienum de obi kana sem diverse background. I think in the UK I started the MCing and the DJing UK memo 93 I think say we call London no na me nua panyin o ho na ono so ye DJ inti those days no say na a power no say the okano imudu the metal cases na igum no ebi ebe 4 inti no oye the selection we no packing the boxes are those will be pija koja no inti you do dance na sia na ya boada ya pija ko you know and near house parties near but normally say nipa ne maya warming up no warm up sessions no and as if you call dance crowd dance and nipa share that maya the early hours which is what they normally call the warm up sessions na wama also wabo because all they depend ho ti nipa ne ba na ono ababeji abo that is where I started doing the warm up sessions until later I think we call other programs now a kukudam for no when I say after the warm up session no, I normally do the MC you know MC them I think when I came to Ghana when I was not doing a lot of the DJ you know na MC no MC 99 2000 Akwaba 2000 Millennium Akwaba wo Independence Square I think when I'm MC no yes I live in Accra. The first live in Accra, loud in Accra. The first loud in Accra, we was trade fair. me MC here with Lord Kenya, Papa Shi, Achiame, and all the other. I was the one who MC that program. You know, I think say entertainment in the idea. I've been doing that, and I did some promotions as well because around that 2000 now me the TikTok I brought for any lot a kobo at that time, and now me I was baby call Lumba. Any programs kakra that time no and I do maybe for 99 no I managed to convince Guinness to sponsor a show for a reunion between Lumba and Nene Champon, and it was the Can 2000 which came in to basically cancel that program. If it wasn't for Can 2000 or Accra Sports Stadium that time now, there would have been a big show at the stadium with Lumba and Nene Champon sponsored by Guinness. That time under George Under. Yes, he worked at Guinness at the time.
Yes,
he was under one great man called Mr. Damali. He was at the time director marketing. You know, we've delved in the entertainment, but we always hope and pray that one day we would actually get the energy to come back. Because when I went to London, there was a man called Min Fiddler. Min Fiddler is like one of the biggest promoters in the world. When you hear that Janet Jackson is in London, it's Min Fiddler. You know, they do huge concerts. It's like a festival, and those are some of the things that for some of us one day we want to see Ghana. And the Christmas time, it's good, but we want to do some maybe twice a year. There are big events in Ghana where people will fly around the world to come to, and those are some of the things we want to do one day.
But do you miss those times when you just because Yehu Kwejo Nsafua Pokusisia a serious-minded talking politics? Me Yasha said don't want to say you have something entertainment.
No, I almost me like the Michael Kreku, Ochami Kofi, TikTok, Papa Shi. They know because Lord take care of me now. Suffer whom my brother they will see free come to me because I don't Lord Kenya way, and I'm saying share me Lord Kenya. You know, almost know me, and at the end of the day, it's there. The 90% that back in London, when I see Dennis and all those people, they know we talk a lot about those things. What I miss, and normally the music, my playlist in my car, let people know say, but I change because the people don't really understand the music of the day. And up to today, I actually go online, sample music, and put on pen drive in my car. So I have the latest songs, both R&B, hip life, my piano, and all that I have because I'm music. You know, music. Masa more asumjo. As upa asumjia utra kemwa. Free radio. Tinyum. But you like also and my genre is very broad. I do a lot of genres.
Eti Ashafwo Nasana Etie you know Biadodwana, you know Kwejo Nsafua Poku as a serious-minded energy expector, talking politics, serious issues. And what was there's something entertainment. Kwejo Nsafua
Poku for class I catch you and sign a dance sound. Those days Spain's dancing competition. Into Poku for the back the other bass say
Pena Etie a man of many parts and Ojumedi Swa ye baba tua actually eti ya koye nima as an energy expert. Kwajo, you free energy and you free party and sense.
I think energy will be kind of a major so kakra. Shadani Subobia but the only thing is we are just hopeful that going forward it will be the way it is. The new minister, Honorable John Jenapo, I've said it on other platforms, he seems to listen. Okay. When you have a minister who listens, he will tend to do well. It doesn't mean the problems will not come, but problems never. how to resolve those problems. No, obia otie. Meaning in the party back home, I would love to make my TV so they are politics, but I always keep telling people, say, energy no ya na eme fanya amanyosem, because all the amanyosem wa esudin faso me da sumu a eso faso ne say enti ebia enche kakra ona some as I say, and one of the things that people also see is I'm a very integral part of the civil society in the energy sector. You know, energy sector no you mainly three main areas. There is the power area, and even which is the Uba petroleum now, your upstream and downstream. Most of the civil societies know Ubuaha or just power. He doesn't do much in upstream or downstream. I seem to be the only one whose Institute for Energy Policies and Research, we do all three. We do power extensively, we do upstream extensively, and we do downstream extensively. I mostly tend to have a 360 view of what's going on. Maybe sometimes you are having to collaborate with Imani on certain things, or collaborate with the IES on downstream, or COPEC on downstream, and then you probably deal with ASEP and other companies, and COSECA in power. I am very actively, though we are not in power, I'm actively involved in the power sector. But so far it's okay. I think, and Ubia to me, the occasional lights will go off, but I don't think it's that of a problem.
There's much to talk about.
For now, we are okay.
But quickly, before I move on, we nipa bakwa yana who advocate for Senka Yenya split biwum and ka Ministry of Power, maybe a Ministry of Oil and Gas.
You see, there are two conversations. Me Kojupoku feel say they need to be focused. Ministries ni ya focus becomes a problem. So now maybe a criminal. I still hold through to that. Say if you now split the ministry to power and oil and gas, you'll be able to give it focus. Now the other conversation is that when the ministry is not so dorswan and the car and waste eba, so then why not look at it under one ministry, but have a lot more technocrats on the more focus than having the political heads? Because technocrats in the formula that and you see before near way be 40 ministries and there were 20 ministries. No, the technocrats now 40 ministries. They are still there. So can budget? People were complaining, say Office of the President budget kakraka. Felix Kwaku came to explain, say why it's like that is because almost as saying how many ministries, they are all paid through the Office of the President. It is civil servants, you don't sack them. So I think say the current focus is that let's have smaller ministries with less political heads, which is in terms of ministers, but now have a much broader technocrats at the base who are doing the work. So more like the pyramid, smaller at the top and broader at the base, than having silos of ministries ubia eye. Then I think say there is a bit of synergy between the oil and gas, the midstream and the power, because midstream is where we use the gas to also generate electricity. Then it become silos and kasa with each other, and you might have bottlenecks along the line. So that thinking I buy into as well. But I have always advocated, say it's better to have smaller and more focused ministries to deliver done. But whichever approach, it is the managerial expertise of the one at the top to make sure, say, you now spend sleepless nights to make sure, say, you get everything right.
All right, Kojo, having said that, Yashe party matters kakra. The last time I think just about 2 years, a little over 2 years ago, and we sent Kaubeba now went to Franca Diama NPP. Now Yeshemukra, I think if not mistaken, you were one of the. In fact, you were the youngest.
I was the youngest.
Yes, you were the youngest. Akona kono, but what call you anye and actually we say obebwa inti hu. Campaigner, Bawumia echo rounds across the length and breadth of the country. Now, Usu Dimubia will support heavily, and you've not backed step and I say Umbu Mukra, and then yes, Sako Kwaku to na so mo pese to franka de ma party no enra no mo submit omo forms na say ne hu so you are for Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia.
Dr.
Mahmoud
Kujo Bawumia. For Kujo Nkansah.
But just beside it, why did you go for Dr. Bawumia first of all amongst the lot?
I think we have synergies. We tend to have a lot in common. The energies are different. I'm more high tempo, he's more low tempo. So that one, if two high tempos people initiate, there will be a clash. So my demeanor and his demeanor are different. Because you become very aggressive, he is more mellow, you know, and sometimes people like me also need people like that to be able to say so you try to do things his way, because we'll be to say there will be confrontation. So sometimes for leadership you need cool heads, people and to say or can or me speech in it, so no say he's cool. People might misconstrue that coolness need to be weakness, but it's not. He is very resolved in the inside. So I see that from him. Secondly, I think the man is a genius in terms of the ideas. You see, politics is changing. Ghanaians think government runs on its own and now government becomes better on autopilot. No great economy has become great on autopilot. There has to be a name attached to that advances. Go around the world and look at the great economies of the day. Somebody's name has to be attached at the turning point. And say, if we tend to think, as soon as you way, as soon as you a politician, no, not all managers are leaders. I think at the turning point that we are now, government need a smart person. You see, and that is the person who he is. He's very smart, and the smartness, from the way he Ghana could do. If he gets the opportunity to do that, it will be beautiful. And some of us want to support that, because walk Orania. Never say young successful in December 2024. Na Makofa form so we can contest Dr. Bawumia. Meanwhile, if you look at the ideas the man have, you buy into those ideas. If you look at the vision and the purpose where he wants to get to, you buy into those things. And why do you want to contest him? It's not like you feel as of now, I don't have any material difference with him. Because within the time I'm in it, I have really bought into a lot of his message. And I feel a shame in crying we should give the man a chance, and say Ghanaians did not listen to the message of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Because now MPP and asma obekembiano nipano enti. But what I say? It is onya younger bina onna start shisha ho infiti ase no asa be kanya sekro be sere ebe wi akire no dia sere kra da no omuna because ebia wa enyuma bia e ma ho nya kono. And that is what I think we got to in 2024. By the time Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia became the leader of MPP, Ghanaians have tuned off the party MPP. They've tuned off because look, minya enyuma be brea ye kasi ye beye mutu abama ye beye Ghana for entia ebro wagene so. Look, car spare parts importers, any spare parts for, or they are complaining. No, they are still complaining. Say omuko yi nyoma ewo tema duty den omo complain say omo yi nyoma na omo abusuo kan for de omo de kwa yen harase omo de ba Kumasi a magazine for no omo de car ni omo ko yi spare parts tema na omo de ba ye be gina seps for no GRE for no e be gina wo mo kwan so saa so na omo da be duru Kumasi ni nyina ha wo mo. Doctor say the only reason I say duties in Lome is cheaper than Ghana. Inti people here smuggle. Into the idea neighbor no you may be free. Into the bia no selves for no be to check say I am passing utia duty or tema porter. But obey president Obama Ghana duty is either the same or cheaper than Lome. magazine 40 asimu and Kenya Sempa. Guess what? Oman Toba. Looking at the numbers that we saw, a lot of people at magazine did not go out to vote. So if they really believed in the message of Dr. Bawumia, they would have gone out and championed or before be when the man tell me as na papa we na ba meduma be ye. Papa ne say taxes ni VAT you want a high into a bar so a flat rate. Taxes obi abitua flat rate. So wo na wo yi 40-footer container say wo yi 20-footer container say engine negumo brakes negumo ni etwabo ama magazine for abusuo kan for NTA alintra and they are crying to this government that they need help with taxes, they need help with this. Businesses are still crying the same cry and no more cry before that Bawumia have solutions. No, almighty alintra, there's only one reason. Na nipa na or kasano party na ye wom abanya ni ye wom at the time no after 8 years no na ye ho afuno Ghana for it me feel say we should give him a second chance to go around the country again and sell that message. And I'm thinking say eniya ya no maba abeye nyoma bi o ka so meya o mantumi anye no Ghanaians will receive that message better. That is why I think we should give Dr. Bawumia a chance. Not only because we feel say, look, he honor Yenimno, the most prepared in terms of recognition. Say dipano uhu na be who's only. Look, no I running mate 8 years. No I vice president 8 years. Near Kobe last year, then the people who no omunimno. Do you feel say anymore? But at least he's been to all 275 constituencies. Today, most likely he will do it again. When we were doing the thank you tour, he went again. And he's become a household name. We take it for granted. Look, Tuesday, but that's just a NIB woman. Like the doom prepaid nasa wifey woman say jale now prepaid nasa tanka first tanka ubede ubede sumo ma de achi because now you can pay your ECG online on your phone and when I'm a family phone papa na me chia na light in about on in less than 2 minutes na me sakodai everybody does that and take it for granted. Nipa saying, well, last time Obi Mao check. Huh? So Obi just call them so check. Why? Checkbook. What do you checkbook? What just here? Why na ma check? And me so go be hono kase je checker. Next is karom so betua because there is what? Mobile money interoperability. Nipa saying that is a sign check for Ghana. And all these things, you know, and tell you 2016, 2015, people were busy doing these things. Ubeko bi oton ade hono na okra phones be 4. Baako for Airtel, baako for MTN, baako for friends Tigo, and a baako for Vodafone because you need different phones to do different money transfers. And then you just need one phone to do all the networks. Fine, Dr. Bawumia. I just feel that we need to support the man. That is why I basically just said, look, within now and January, why go pick forms, go around the country to contest the man, then come back again 31st January after and support him again? What's the point? So support him, sell his message, let everybody know, Ghanaian beer who say, if you're a delegator, yeah, per candidate delegates into our manner. It's the one person, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
But I say, to play the devil's advocate, no, be adrenaline say yes, yet no echo yeshe numbers wawaka omama abonte ambambe votua. No eye number one now share a year percentage and put Dr. Bawumia enyano last elections numa ebi the air cancer say not just say perform woefully and koyi kra enti bia chese onyo bia in the history of over the year over the tutu history of records of the NPP back in the days and no sir no uhuna say
mami kan say mincho ye mu bebre no is unfortunate to say omo ye the day of social media no more cancel kese no. I just think say omo enhu ya bakosem enhu be free back. And you because social media because of that Bawumia the north is lost. North no inyanda bene lost here. Mpachom de make just here. Ekoba say ye call 2024 election. But mami chunwa junisi bibi so. Ye papa John Dramani Mahama elusi 2016 election by 1 million votes. Nanado yenyina to your who say we have won the best historic vote ever because Obian we need 1 million votes there, right?
Yeah.
Then we had a big majority in parliament, right? Nanado as candidate, Nanado has ruled for 4 years. You call 2020. What happened? We lost 500,000 of that vote. We lost almost all the majority in parliament. In fact, between the MPs that we had in 2016 to 2020, no, we lost more MPs in 2020 than we have lost in 2024. We lost MPP, we lost more MPs in 2020. Those that we got in 2016, no, you lose almost be brave essence say you lose 24. In 2020, Ubi Kase Nanado was a problem. After the election, did you hear anybody say that Nanado was a problem? Nobody mentioned Nanado was a problem because what we had won.
Yeah.
Because Sanka ye what man and ye bibia a problem ne start here. You come into power with 1 million votes. You come into power with all this majority of MPs. Then in 4 years after performing, you lose all your MPs and you lose 500,000 votes after you've done free senior high school with over almost 400,000 kids going through free education. So what does that tell you? It tells us that the problem did not start in 2024. The problem was not Dr. Bawumia. The problem started when we went to election in 2020 and Ghanaians told us that we are doing something wrong. Nobody listened. Nobody listened because we come into government to be popular. We come into government to do more. And to about 4 years, now 4 years, no, Ghana for their indictment is for you to lose 500,000 votes, the indictment for you to lose half of your MPs. That's where the problem started. But Obi can want them. And all of a sudden, we go into 2024, and Dr. Bawumia as the flag bearer. Yeah, Papa Brian say he's a victim of the conflict in Boko. Now, Oya Mampusini, in OT, in other parts, Kusasis didn't vote. Okay. Or no, Dr. Brian Champon, did he not lose votes in Abetifi? He lost votes. He got less votes in 2020 than he got in 2016 when he first won that Abetifi seat. TBO, Ghana, you just get them blouse. In 2020, Amewu in Hohoi, when Amewu, the Hohoi time people wanted Amewu, no, they voted Amewu 26,000 to make Amewu an MP and gave Nanado only 14,000. They didn't want to know about the president, but they wanted an MP, so they voted for Amewu. And the Ghanaians are discerning. Ghana for elections munyansa. Si ye pesi ye to aba, ye tumi ko ni akoto de ye peno ne de ye mpeno. Enti yemfa ne se wo de wo feel se Dr. Bawumia na e problem a na se wo Dr. Bray Champon abetifu for pel because we see the biggest hotel in Africa eba wo mo a why did they not vote massively for you in 2024? Why did you lose votes? That's the question. Yes, abusebiem abetifi imprayeso nkoko MPs almost enclave no. Oka votes lose year from 2020 and 2024. They lost over 26,000 votes. The MPs, almost no, not only mamprusi for na. So let's not make anybody come and tell us say you lose votes because of Dr. Bawumia. When the person telling us no, he lost votes himself. Right? Yeah. And you know why did you lose votes? Because it's not possible. So like I say presidential until all president parliamentary lose votes. It's not true. But there's been reports, 3 reports, The Microcure report, the Oseche Mensa Bonsu report for Ashanti region, and the third from external parties are Yaya Hifemu Akase. There is nowhere in Ghana Yako 275, 276 constituencies are Obia Babe Kase. You lose 2 seats, no, it was because of tribe or religion. But a bit more perception or more Kase a Yanuntra. Remember, Assembly. Every region, every constituency have a reason tia Oman Twaba. Asante Memuha, the Dabena Yinja, Asante Mampuntuoka. Ene Mamponting. Didn't Mamponting Kwabri is give Nanado the highest votes in the country.
Yes.
What did we do for Kwabri East? Miami Papa. Nana Aiboafo. Nana Sasi Aiboafo the second. A press conference. Calling for Impuntuo for Kwabri. Mamponting market started by NDC. Now after 2017, when my father be papa here press conference no, Nana Duba Kumasi be radio so I said no catch trouble. No, I said no catch trouble. Yeah. No, now 146,000 votes no open. I won't pay. Because they have 146,000. Yes, the Kenyan roads were done. Later, Yakunya Maumbe started Yamamponting inner roads, right? So I can say it's zero. But the key things that is important to the people, no, why nya you be why they why it's like Kumasi. Maybe some things were done. But Kejitia market was key for us. Yeah. Kejitia market phase 2. And a quite very significant road Bekwai Quine Parks and Gardens and in Futru.
Yeah.
And this any pebiti Kumasina one to a bar. Was it talking about maintaining one to a bar? Let's stop it. There are people of Fred. Brian Frey, chairman for no Ekoye no. Omoboa Mankubi, a chairman for Neka. Almost say when the man was telling them about they told him, say, we as chairman of the constituencies, we know the problems that were there. In Bono East and Bono, what is the biggest problem in Bono and Bono East? Omakwan. There's one road that Mahama Kasawaye. Abronya in 2017 did a press conference in Mahama Boa. Na yenye in 8 years yanfa yensan kakwan no. That road apparently goes through about 6 to 8 constituencies. So tell me, if you lose election, you have been Yabokoko 2020 when one change ministers so one year reshuffle that. Jai Cathedral when Jai. You will one yet. Look, we are by a cartoon January.
So Nkansah, the odds were already against.
No, the actions created the odds. Our actions. Ghanaians don't vote for you because they don't like you. Ghanaians at a point likes you and they vote for you. And the biggest problem we have, has a year to early election, January 31st. Whoever wins, we will be able to go around. But have hope in us again. Say MPP ever come back into power, and we do anything near to what has happened in the last 8 years, apart from Bigu. I'm telling you, the only reason Ghanaians voted for us because no more Kaide Kufoye. Say, they answer for Mumra because they're Mahame ye there.
Yeah.
Yemfa for Nemra. They have the men. Then we came. Yes, yeah, yippee. You see, me, I've always said, I defended our track record on a lot of things during the 2024 election. Yeah, yippee. But, baby, na Emma Nkatia Bakono. That's where the problem is. Not in catching in but in catching Bakuna na aseno. No. That's where the problem is.
Bakwajo, Bibisawi, Dr. Bawumia before 2016 na chese oyobia hu se economy no ho ensem na odi lectures chese wotumu se ho aspect no obone ho modern papa obi anim se the name dey was afano mo dey enyasam ketwa na before 2024 and that's at the point in time COVID-19 no ebaye no wo hwa economy no yesikasam ebeye bibia ewo na me the way ba because me person wo ha ya ye ka Dr. Bawumia ho asem de bia nsem ewo bia ewo nkofo trim ye dealing with economy no cedi to dollar ebi na omo de bonus so go say oh what's your economic messiah na cedi to dollar no ahode no akwa ye bibia ewo ho na afi kura no Dr. Bawumia no kura no wajai eye economy no ho asem kana o ka gold de ho kura de ba ho asem sansam no tibia ya o fa say
okay so we are no ehfa na eko the economies of 2010 to 2016 was not the same as the economies from 2016 to 2024. The chrono is shifted. We are going to fourth industrial revolution, right? And they remember, almost share traditional TV. They don't watch traditional TV. Most university students don't watch traditional TV. Ubia share TikTok. And then you on the phone. So, in fact, in 2014 there was no TikTok. In 2015 there was no TikTok. TikTok is a current 4, 5, 6, 7 years phenomenon, right? Blockchain technology, a recent phenomenon. And to say obi can be in terms of the economy of a nation, that these are the things, are the principles of economy, the principles of finances, or massa lecture now, based on the perception, the unim. Now about or say sa principles of economy no enye Ghana for natural yo e Bruni natural ye Bruni natural sa principles of economy no based on certain things prevailing in those countries. In Germany, in the UK, in the US, there are digital address system. They are easily identifiable individuals. Ubi bebobosia, you can easily track that person. If you should be a unim baby or tear, oko banka ye ma won't pen paper any pencil na on tro a diagram baby out here. And I say closest known location. Yeah. The things that prevail in Ghana no, and my economic principles no doesn't hold through. Anything about all things being equal. Ubi oti ubi so all things being equal. NTC yekusua nyoma Oxford, Cambridge ne abro amanone. Near the bar, near ba be implement to Ghana because I na bro ni akire. Meanwhile, say me gina landing Heathrow. Na me ka say me cut 12 Brampton closer upper Clapton. Whoever met me ada. Huh? Yeah. Na driver no could do 12 Brampton close upper Clapton. E5. Because it is a structured system where addresses work. Ghana, Mikojina airport, na mitina taxi mua. Address you can be na mabo. Na se minim na mko mistake na meka se me ko Kwaku Mensa Street a. Ebi kwada Kwaku Mensa Street no na me ko abuchire no na ewo ho. Ene no me fu abesesa no. Ntinya Kwaku Mensa Street bio. But the make say the make can say our prevailing circumstances in Ghana does not make those economic principles true. So Dr. Bawumia coming into government realized say there are certain things that needs to be done, and those were the things that he now started to do what put in place, which is the digitalization drive to give somebody a digital address system, to now do the mobile money interoperability that he did, to do all the digital stuff that he came up with, was to help give Ghana an equal footing to the UK or to the US, so that some of those economic principles can be true. But what I say, he didn't move away, say he doesn't believe, because you can be talking about all these things forever and ever and ever. Then look, we now say he ran away from and then now went to do something. No, he sat there and thought of gold for oil, right?
Yeah.
Today, NDC, they bastardized gold for oil, But in a way, quote unquote, they are doing the same thing because they are doing gold for reserve. But at the foundation of that economy that the NDC has now revolves around what? Gold. In 2012 to 2016, did you hear John Mahama talk about gold?
No.
Did Sami Jamfi ever talk about gold?
No.
How come all of a sudden Sami Jamfi now walks around with the most crisp suit, gold board CEO? Because somebody has thought. And Maker say, in every economy that does well, somebody's name has to be attached to that curve. Because ansana bibi you know, obi and this eba. So it's not true. Yes, look, we are vice president. Maybe there was a bit of naivety. Daughter, the thinking of what his role is in government and his thinking of his role when we are in opposition. As a vice president, you are not the president. In fact, the minister of finance, there were more clouds, more power than you, the vice president. Go for now, economic management team. No, through our constitution. The constitution does not mention the economic management team. There is no way that economic management team is concerned. Economic management team, no, is only a subcommittee of cabinet. It is a ubi our board, there be any oko border. There are various subcommittees, parliamentary subcommittee, very subcommittee, committee in the koye jumano. Now the jumana ba plenary. Now oma discussing, which is the cabinet. So the economic management team is a subcommittee of cabinet, and it's normally headed by somebody the president puts in charge. In this case, he put Dr. Bawumia in charge of the economic management team, and some ministers are members of the economic management team. Then that's where they digest all the policies and bring the report to cabinet for it to be approved. They can all decide at the economic management team, bring it to cabinet. The president has veto power. The president can decide, so look, I am my idea. NDM say Yabeko producer style. Rofana mo kind of mood there, so yamping. Simple, case die. President has the final authority. We run an executive presidency. Eti say enyoma BCC ya ebia enyini nyina na ubika. There are clear issues. I can tell you authoritatively that Dr. Bawumia at cabinet fought against e-levy. Yeah, he fought against e-levy, but when the decision was agreed on to, as a team player, as a member of cabinet, you are binded by the decision of cabinet. And the finance minister, who was the proponent, of e-levy, had his way, but Dr. Bawumia was against e-levy. Yes, what do you want him to do? He will throw tantrum, match me ball. That be. Ball no different if ball no there. But you are vice president. Yes, Wako Park so ya chest 7-7 ball in your dia. Ya chair now team chain. You can only beg to play. Bonus want to me and near US in chain. But you are a team player. So when he fought against e-levy at the cabinet and cabinet approved it, he was a team player. Or you be or Abijina Bontin Akasa Etia, the collective decision. That's not a team player. And those are qualities of a leader. E-levy by finance minister got it wrong. We all saw that he got it wrong. You understand? The finance minister, who was the cousin of the president, was more powerful than the vice president. That's the truth. Oh yes, as a collective, they be a journalists for Nanka Yama Ghana for indicate to almost say government is different from party. Say party is not the same as government. Yes, we sponsor a president to win and form his government, but in the same party Bekano and a president Betty, we all heard Justin Kudia advocating for changes of ministers. It never happened, right? Yeah. And then government didn't who be more when they could do no bono party no. Yes, I think say going forward, doctor himself, I'm sure a younger self of him will learn certain lessons. He will know say the perception he had in coming to government was not the same when he got into government. The role of the vice president is limited. You are only advising your president. And I think say if he had known that, those lectures would not have been as assertive as but no, those lectures tape now, he's a lecturer. He was giving you economic principles. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. It's true, because that's economics. Whether Ghana, in our peculiar circumstances, that apply, that is for the technocrats and the professors to debate.
Mate, Kwaku, me for last one on this, then brother, maybe I've been broaden, or be say broaden horizon, no?
Okay.
Kakra. Embra. And Dudona Omopese Omutu Frankama NPP no submit omo forms. But Adi Kradiama primary C Bantebe January and Saya near a county in area say, ye be near baby a free party to stay united. And see Entina Yedika aye presidential primaries to one key no. But baby a ye dream omwa bemuno whether say submit forms no. Going forward, say and then I can't unity is key.
Unity is key, but unfortunately, when the person who has a unifier under his name always goes around saying things that is dividing people, and for me, I'm saying that we keep advising him, say he should stop it. If you're a unifier, then do speeches that unite people. Don't be a unifier in title, but your speeches are dividing people. Look, it's about ideas. Nipa 5, no. Educhum will go around talking about education, right? Because he thinks that he headed education and most of the things that happened there were his baby, his ideas. And yes, rightfully so, let's give it to him. Kennedy will go out and say, look, I'm a businessman, I've done well, blah, blah, blah. We need new ideas, practical ideas as a president. I've created jobs. We can interrogate those things, but look, that's his angle. Utina. That's good. Then you have Kennedy, you have Kwame Japan, who says, I was the general secretary, the party needs reform. Where we are as a party is no good. We need somebody that can come in and be able to look at presidency and look at party, bring ideas as an engineer. There's a Kwame too has his angle that he's coming with. Then there's Brian, former agriculture minister, and he will also come out and sell himself and say, these are my qualities. Those are what I say. Enti yanko na yanko ton yamfa enyoma ya yelen ton Dr. Bawumia in his speech gave a beautiful speech for two things. Dr. Bawumia as candidate and Dr. Bawumia when he becomes flag bearer for the nation. Today, his manifesto that he did last year is still as relevant ever. And you won't be Blumo or Troya and Nino. Ghanaians are yearning for those things to come back. So what we expect, what some of us expect, is just clean campaigning. Sika utiaye. So what? I mean, in the past, people who have paid money were just financiers. They never wanted to be president. They wanted to finance somebody to be president, because presidency is not about who did what and who did. And you know what? It's Nansayana. Nana iskafo pano. Omo pe politics o. Obeba kakra ko ye politics no, but opso ye adwuma. And then no be a person who say moves can't make politics move. It does, the two doesn't marry. Because if you're a successful businessman, why do you want to do politics? You are either a politician or a businessman. But if you came into politics and made money in politics, then calm it down, calm the business aspect and those things down, because it has its own problems, right? And you know, mama yinjai sa mi no emfa yen kusifi say the lumba kan ye no. Enti going forward, there should be clean campaign, ideas of the way your policies. Mabuno, grassroots, no, they need people to help them. They are almost losing hope. We need to give them assurance. We need to bring them back to where we left them. And I think, there is a lot of work to be done. That's the assurances that they need. Saying, no. 8 years, no, they're now here, no, also can. Because just by saying it's not like who free mass never no. They are now kana mbabunu nti ye fra wa we just you be the problem bro no so oh yeah. Those are the things that people wants to hear, not just the virtue of oh mebo. Those things I think is rhetoric. We need to hear what you have done.
All right, Kwajo, let me crave your indulgence now. Before we briefly now, we bring back a year. Kwajo Safwa Poku na what's the name? Or a member of the NPP, an energy expert, and last time ko 2 franca or Shesan ko be 2 franca no de ama NPP na went to be into South franca no na odena ho de eta Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia echi na he's here this evening saying it exactly as it is. Me ton dear kakra bi na mabana yatwa jumedie no, so it's still Talk Ghana live on WONTUMI TV. So oko eye Facebook abe patcho ye WONTUMI TV live on Facebook and WONTUMI TV live on YouTube. It will be to me akọ on now, so what joining a year program no. But ansa no besa ba Kwajo nchen mesro a year Kivo 4-in-1 Gary soaking mix kona kope bi achira kwan wate ewie unya Kivo 4-in-1 Gary soaking mix ni bia utubu se udi aduane we bia nicely packaged wona yimu kama ne bo so kra enye de kona kope bi achira kwan Gary sugar eka ho sugar ka ho milk ka ho no de nkatia kakra nso agum enti we na friend balanced diet what you say kona kope Kivo 4-in-1 Gary soaking mix no ebi na nkola eba be ko school ni ye e wosa wo ye ne se empo be pe bi ede agu nkola no adaka mu na chese bibia aye kama ko school a odi si ogu so ana odi nti enya fe na akoto Gary akoto sugar akoto eye milk aton katie debi we no de ye rolling in one intiko na kope bi echira kwan na eno so eda nche ya Kivo for ye wo meko a friend hot pepper Kivo for ye wo meko ewo ho enti edo no so menua ba wo bandu aduane na chese weekend yi ehwa hwehwe ama pe eye Kivo hot pepper na se Kivo meko di bi fagu stew no pe bi fagu nkwan no na chese wa wudi a wo be say yes Kivo meko no ma ho haro na nso ama aduane nso aye de papa enti Kivo 4-in-1 Gary soaking mix and Kivo hot pepper pe bi echira kwan na ebeboa na die ewo ho de say ebia where stomach ulcer ebia typhoid fever ejijo mesro ko na kope eye gastro mixture bi gastro mixture eye stomach ulcer edru gastro mixture eye edema typhoid fever so mesro we eye herbal medicine papa eye FDA for agiatum ni ya womenso plaques mixture so ewo oba seven produce wa fichiko uhwe na uhuni emabi eya kona kope eye menso plaques mixture ni bi so echira kwan prostaplax mixture eye for prostate enlargement wo Johnson tentem na chese ni Dr. Freddy urine retention no no so no ya prostaplax mixture ni bia ebebo papa we eye mema edru mema prostate insensem na uswa kwa kope eye prostaplax mixture into your bar wo de eye mensoplax mixture no ye wa fichiko ne mu insensem yusu mensoplax mixture ni bi so ema me na gastro mixture de eye wo yemukro de friend stomach ulcer na simple typhoid fever na uswa yusu gastro mixture bi wo ko herbal shop BMA wonsa ebeka indroi bi ubetumi afro mahomatrofo so number de 0248 77 8899 0248 778899 o from ebejoso sanso na akwaniasa pharmacy we no de e was square here akwaniasa pharmacy e wo Millennium Plaza edainum ase hodoma ube se omo a branded kamachro akwaniasa pharmacy immune system no ebua ma moja no so edi umu afusane hama kona kope droibi moringa de adanse de wo moringa ho no tete moringa eno de aye dro atu the Exodus moringa ni asade dandelion capsules account enti bobodi asa obetom yenu no na we use wa na odi adanse de no ebeba wokọ eye herbal shop biemu a mepacho Exodus moringa and dandelion capsules unsa ebeka biato ewo enti so a je telephone number is 0544 447 033 0544 447 033 and now to me after 0537 456 665 that's 0537 456 665 ofreswa wankasa ubehu se baby abekwa akotedro ndebie wedi hu adanse yo na membra ne emfa kakra enka ho ebi afi na wodi wachim wafidie edi ababeto a WONTUMI TV so edie na bepacho ko Facebook e WONTUMI TV live on Facebook and WONTUMI TV live on YouTube itishado so sa emame na owura Kwajo Poku Nsafua Kwajo Nsafua Poku na owahadom ede ayubre yamudodo na yidim na as an energy expert yeka ensem on various issues Kwajo membra na yemfa kakra enka ho na me ba usubio a what's your expectation akwatia by elections?
It's going to be close. I'm saying very close. After NDC for one year or more primaries no uti videos course wa them so omunyina agya tum so omuntu na nipa no NDC candidate no a lawyer for the PC and assembly court dedo ono be chinchim ne client nsa agisit no ntina ni pepi so omuntu ema no but politics those things you don't rely on nti I would say MPP is a seat we can win if we have unity. Akwatia hono yana enchichemu kakra wo ho. There are a few people who are very strong in that area. It's a Galamsey area. I think it also plays heavily in the politics there. And you know, we can win it, but it's a lot of work for us to win it.
Now, maybe Sawi, I think I heard you comment on it. A far-range hospital incident. No, I think Sanam in social media. You were on a program and I heard you comment on it. Kwajo, member may repeating some, but recently near course our Rage Hospital, a coffin same P and Abba, and I went for the issue there. There may make us be when a Potokasa and a except being a behuin. As a Ghanaian. Your thoughts about the course of our Rage Hospital committee no bebo?
Onse debi anamika se utu okrafwa no to okra sofo. The general situation in our hospitals, government hospitals, needs attention and a bit of deliberation or see a kanwasem. Bibia go papa and the right? So people are looking at one aspect of it, which is a rough guy who went in there and started agitating and creating a problem that now became the problem. But then Utie, the other side of the story is the environment which persisted. Some of the patients were referred to the hospital and there was a seemingly lax approach to attending to patients, which led to the guy to come in. So for me, I think we should take the politics out of it and let's look at the situations in our hospitals. One, are the nurses giving Ghanaians, the public, the desired attention and care? And I'm sure say Ubusa, overwhelming majority will tell you say it's no. The second part of it is it right that Ubiye Nejuma, then somebody from outside also come in and try to do vigilante and also come and harass them? Condemnably, no, you cannot do that. I like to now just take we present me fast answer me no ye free mu na ye address it. Because when these things come up, it's the only time we are able to address some of these things, especially with the situation in our hospitals. Look, I've always said that there are three things: hospital healthcare in here, affordability, access to care, and quality of care. Right? Into quality of care, after your papa John, your papa Kufo buy the national health insurance buy, we now had affordability, right? Nanado felt that look, there need to be access to care. And you see a lot of hospitals, because government hospitals and also Ghana nurses in Yajumanya, because they are coming out in droves and they don't have anywhere to work. So Agenda 111 came up to build 111 hospitals. It is even more across the country. So that will now go to access to care, improving how easily you can access good quality care. Now, to access good quality care, when they build that nice edifice, na nest in phone so. Na obeko de how no nipa no enha because you say it your yonku ho a it your. So that is where for me I want us to address. Are Ghanaians getting the required health service personnel? Sorry, are Ghanaians getting the required service from nurses across the country? The nightingale of nursing, is it still there? It's not. Let's be honest with ourselves. Now, most people who are doing nursing are not nightingale nurses. They are obia ofiuso obitifi benya adwuma ezo ukol nursing na yemawalawa uwia obenya adwuma. Now, nursing, no akojalawa, akoyedes no bia. It's just anki bianco we juma fufru bia and kanya nursing okoye. Then we go in knowing the condition of service and start complaining and so that is where my problem is. We need to have dedicated nurses. And there are some beautiful people who are nursing. There are beautiful people who are midwives. There are beautiful people who are in the health facility, allied health, right? Few kakre bina omako yesa jumani bina omo fie form hono omo na ema that profession.
Okay, it's Abia to play the devil's advocate. That be bemuno. Wa kware bia waka. Yeah, now better say obviously obu ye juma under poor conditions of service. Near maybe ebi omo de be ye juma edio be months dey be omo ketua embai. Into your tesa complaints ni nyina efri omo nche ya eba. Enti omo no omo say they are rather sacrificing.
No, there's no such thing. You see, enyina enye betesa o entina enene mabunu free ho the emergency no see free ho private hospital war on say god na war be car about no on say hospital we share
is it Santa's run and Santa's run about yeah well, hospital yeah hospital we share
hona we did McCoy at that time. And if you see at that time, the professionalism of the people there, because it's private. It's not that all nurses are like that too. It's only nurses in what? Public hospitals. So why is it that your Ghana nurses in private hospitals, perfect. Nurses in public hospitals, there's a problem. I didn't try. But they make out just here. You can't. Oh, nursing fraternity there. Ghanaian nurses are the best trained. Yes. They are sought after. But so Okwabruchiri, Nene, Oko Massachusetts, Worcester, Mass. Now and then you find a Worcester Medical Center. Now, the attitude he puts up in Ghana Confanoche, he will not put up in Worcester Medical Center. I didn't try because of Brony group. Why? Yes, we all say we should strive or see it to me your workers, doctors, nurses, all these, because omuna in your worst needs, you rely on them. We should resource them, we should give them the best. But Ghana is not a rich country. In fact, we are a poor country. But we are a poor country, right? You pay middle income. Middle income. I don't see where the middle income is. Okay? As a poor nation, our medical services is not the best. So uye adwuma wo ho a o se unya tema na unya ehomobro kakra. Se ufiu se you want to nya, don't come to work.
But the case in contest, so I joined today.
I did the
Abrantia no committee and as a commissioner. I think say nipa people were not happy with the minister. Ne call her no chair boy no and this annual course no. Apparently from main program one when the minister call on all free no boy they about chair no boy in case over office. I've heard say minister directed the IGP and the police to do their work. They should be arrested where necessary. CCTV or the prosecutions arrest prosecutions should take to go forward. WONTUMI because me this RF no or can omo could see 37 minutes hospital quite no whereas they are getting emboldened with this government because normal bar you will home so but I think the president to crack the whip now vigilante no interest because be there in idea. So that part we should condemn it heavily, but to a craft no to a crash of wrap up. But your assessment of a year a buying we say may 8 months
into my cousin go for assessment again why the very look at to force no only monopoly
monopoly there be minimum to but I know the game monopoly
okay at to force to monopoly very because monopoly no say toa ye obi wo ha o pass go ani ama 200 scan a crowd no and anything on top or more on top asase on top dine on top bibia ato forcing is just happy having money in the bank and saying say I'm doing well and giving statistics. There are about 56 billion Ghana cedis owed to contractors. You are not paying. Your excuse that you are vetting the projects. Also are vetting about 30 something in the bid year. And also WONTUMI. All his ministers are complaining because he is not releasing money to the ministries. They are complaining. Look, I'm privy to a retreat of Mukoye. Ministers ne kasaya. Because he's not releasing money to the ministries. Now, Adia Bako Wasandia Bakrana, she said, Nano, I humble Bonon say every ministry are over started to initiate a project, also the project ne call ekoji all clear from the Ministry of Finance and sana WONTUMI starting ministry Now would you say because you know what he wants to do, which is in novelty, in theory, it sounds good. In practice in Ghana, it cannot work. That ansana obey a project, or say this kind of toho ansana why a project, and to say, apply to Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Finance for any scanner, yama own koye tender, no yama own starting project, because how? And yet, Masa, by next year, by this time, no more permanent. Because that will not, because the government will not do anything. Now, you collect. Government of Ghana has never had money. That's why he's always complaining. We live on borrowed times. Into the private sector, Makase Ghana is the only country where 1 + 1 is not equals to 2. What I say? And one more contract be 60 billion Ghana cedis. Then the private sector will find money, and in 6 months, look, every contractor in Ghana is happy to work if you pay him within 6 months. I'm telling you. The banks are happy to lend to contractors to do the work if you guarantee that in 6 months you will pay. No contractor wants the money up front. No contractor wants the money in 3 months or 2 weeks or no. Me a certificate. Tell me 6 months. I'll go back to doing construction. I used to do construction. Okay. At that time, Pono, na 90 days road fund. To the queue no more within 90 days, na road fund the year. First time, 2004, 2005, 2006. And they a minimum over 1 year into your mocha. Those are bad. And the concept of person the year, it doesn't work. Say for application by Ministry of Finance, na yen certify ni mpes kaningu and san wako start project. No, it doesn't work in any country. But what I say, and you know there, say the mekano or ye monopoly clubbery. There is this thing that we've all heard now. The amount of money they've pumped into the currency to try and stabilize it. Now you can't do it anymore. To what in Sensema Bank of Ghana, Odeba, NII, this. My brother, the beautiful concept which they bastardized, gold for oil, or what we tend to call it at the end of 2024, it was called gold for commodity or gold for reserves, which is what they are doing today. Gold for oil was the initial concept. Gold for commodity or gold for reserves was the next step of that program. So there are two tracks of programs. One, Bank of Ghana to gold to shore up the currency. That one is ongoing, right? Then there is also gold to and no ABR MTN for kra at the point almost declare profit. They need over 2 billion, 1 billion, no matter the amount of billions of dollars they need to send out to their shareholders. No, instead of finding dollars for them, you give them gold. Now where the problem is is the gold buying. You see, share letter me talk about Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana throw me letter, reply letter, and I say the problem with the gold for oil losses not what didn't happen when we sold or traded in the petroleum products. The losses were in the gold buying end. And to the cities amani pebisa omonko dubia ana akwetianko to gold. Omokwa blade and whatever they are buying, they are using international market price to buy the gold. Meanwhile, our gold it's not purified gold, so you can't use international market price to buy that gold. There should be a special price for gold in the pit or gold in the gold buying areas. You can't use the world market price. That's wrong. And that is where exchange rate in the price of usually gold in the Bank of Ghana for when it came to Bank of Ghana, the internal rate of Bank of Ghana created an FX loss. It is our 1.9 billion losses in the buy for gold for oil. But guess what? So gold buying, the risk associated with gold buying is worse under gold board. Worse gold board a car or mututuno. Because they are buying the gold at different pricing, different effects. It's not synchronized. That whole program, there's a problem with how we buy the gold. I think, say, Ghana, we should have a standard. This standard of gold, this is how much is paid for. It is a cocoa, your main crop and low crop. The price for main crop cocoa is not the same as the low crop cocoa. It's any low crop, Emma local industries, because main crop need premium. But what you're saying, so there should be a lot of thinking into how gold board buys gold. But those are lessons they should have learned from the program and the gold for oil, right? Then they should have learned that lesson. And now when they now took over PMMC and made it into gold board, they will have now checked buying the gold, because the biggest problem is buying gold. The price no more use or gold buying areas, any FX no more use, is creating a problem today for gold board. Wow. Yes.
Sorry Jumadi no swado no but what can a gold board ho ensensem we dey me besada fe ye wrap up assessment what assess fight against Galamsey because here ba beto aba
zero. The fight against is there a fight? It's zero. I've said it that fight against Galamsey is at the gold mining areas. It's not in Accra. Have they stopped? Are they banned?
It's even getting worse.
Thank you. It's zero.
It's even getting
what is
worse.
Fight? Look, me 2012. Now me call Uncle Brasso. Me call Pristia. you could do Galamsey for Romu boat near Jedeko and Cobra so 2012 the Cobra was as brown as it was in 2012. 2022 go for a demonstration. What different was it as 2012? You see, Makan Assembly, and you see nobody wants to listen. It's the surest way to stop Galamsey in Ghana. Arrest and prosecute owners of excavators. Simple.
Arrest and
prosecute owners of excavators whose excavators are found doing Galamsey. Because Nipana Oti Asankregwa Oti Mikrom, I am free. Eye Galamsey no, Ao Kwachino no, and you no, and a financing Galamsey. The guy sitting in East Legon, Owuska to buy excavator no. He is the one who is fueling sa process no. It is a excavator no. Na owner no, and a beko jailer. All these rich guys will stop buying excavators. It's simple. The excavator now, we prosecute the owner, not the guy in the pit. People will stop it. Look, Galamsey is a 150-year-old exercise. Those days, me quiet and free, me kona asankregwa. Omo de aso, ene cutlass, ene Galamsey. Ube kono no mo de anyane gu bottom, no mo de aba, no ma be mercury.
Yeah.
Enye na ejuma.
Yeah.
Ukwa ya mfre ukwa asankregwa. Na nanko, yenye wasa so nanko. Tuko wa, bonza omo ba, na esu omo. Nti no omo ko digi, omo de aso ni no ma ko digi, no ma ba be huro de kakra ewufie. But that one, no, the rate of degradation, no, na entise ene. What came and changed all these things is two things: the champagne and the excavator. And if you do not, there's no need for champagne if there's no excavator. Champagne there, excavator name too. Champagne is useless.
Yeah.
Which I say, sir, I'm nana assassin, excavator no na causes a problem no. And nipa ni eskata go there go chest go no akochi nipa otis le go no odna ko tun sabam. They will stop it. Simple.
But finally yes, so sorry Jumedi so no the bay message and how the eja Ghana for
them say delegates omutie omutumi ato about 31st January no yesere wo mu. There's only one candidate among the five. Me Kojupoku, I feel is ready, prepared to go. Or ideas when we the manner the 2 munition in Saturday 1st January as flag bearer of the party now, he will steer the affairs of the party in the right direction. He will bring calm. Ibinumud for me might not be able to do same, but no subjective this conversation. But I could me feel say BIOT BIA WONTUMI FDA so no utumi to about yes Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the one that did not call. Yes, and look, in 2012 Nana Dokra no caught 2008. I was call 2012 no when we need Volta, when we need Bunu East, when we need Yoibri, when we need Baby Bibri. We lost really bad in 2012 after 2008. We only won 3 regions: East, Ashanti, and Western. We lost all the other regions, right? 80 yes, Ramo. There is always tribulations and problems. How you overcome your tribulations? How do you overcome it? You overcome it with strategy. Yako Akwensi but nobody has won it the first time. Nobody has won the first time. Kofozu President Mahama won it as a president, not as a vice president. Enti Mama Yema reached him. Ya Papa Jody Manzata Mills 2004. He didn't win. He only won 2 seats out of 19 for the NDC in the Central Region. Only 2 seats. NDC for Antonin say, oh, you don't call you know, Anklata. Because you only got us 2 seats. They kept him. Oh yeah, Jumading 2008, 4 years later, we need 10 seats in the Central Region from 2. So let's keep faith in the man we know, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and I think he will deliver us in 2028.
Mate, Kwajo, Yabeda was a why? Yame enka hono ma wa hode. The next time I be who kwajo ha no beba betna na wa bo power. Obeba be bo power ni bi wa. Na it's better was Yame enka ho. Ahwefo de mo tie gina eye kwajo nsafua Puku, or energy expert, member of the NPP, this time around throwing his weight, but they are Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the ne ena otiero. Now, enche sorry to me dear subata a year instrumapa. Yeshasa instrumapa ebetnasi na yachuche nkomobatansana empo obetnasi no. Emulate herbal supplement. We eye kantanka nsa anu adwuma emulate herbal supplement mesro eye apostle safo kantanka na kwakofa eye edroi ediaba edwaso na emulate herbal supplement de wo nyina ne se eboa immune system no say bia wonum edro we say bia enya ade a be yare rough being so sa word Wonyare basabasa because emulate the maniema koye ewo wo system num emulate herbal supplement e maniema ekoye ewo wo system num eno nti ube wo sa wonnum atam bia no ho de enye se yare bia na mana wo de ayi buko na wo na opemo ede wa hwe ho ko na kope bi echira kwan eye very good for eye immune system you redeem we fibia ewomu sanso na empo sane emeka no yare basa bia no entumi enka enhwe honum enti ko na kope bi echira kwan ko eye pharmacy bia mo ko eye near friend drug store bia mo so a wonsa ebeka bi genamba no na onim sa apostle safo kantanka kwajo ono niema otumi eye no na waye nhwehwemu owe research work power research center odiomo aye nhwehwemu no edro no FDA for agiatum enti friend number is number is 0535 112813 0535 112813 and now between friend 0303 966 429 0303 966 429 o from ebeje oso no ma kire ba bia ebewa oso betumi akwakoto edro no ebie na rock care clinic omo ene de medfagen capsules aba ejaso rock care clinic e de medfagen capsules and aba ejaso misro ebia wachi honum no wo hwe na eye sciatic pains dompene wo wachi hono wohwe na empono oti ya wo ekosem previous awoto honum na chese wo say da bi niema nkoyi na wakwakope medfagen capsules no ebi anya no nkomoja eboa ma moja to be do mu frusane kama nte medfagen capsules afi na nse wani kumuntumi nda bobode ya se obekwakope medfagen capsules the ebi moi arthritis ejije wo no kona kope medfagen capsules the ebi aside that rock care clinic e de adre friend pakum capsules aba ejaso pakum capsules enono eboa bema waye mre ewo mpema weekendi kona koje pakum capsules na empono ye ka koje pakum capsules a ye nkan kwachire by now ekobo nunsia enkwala nyina ewufe nti mema munim ne make patchri kona kopebi na weekend no enjoyment nkwa Janicure 442 eye emma edro 7 prediasa eye white na ahimfi ho no niema nkoye wa ho chirewa ko na kope eye Janicure 442 ne bi na we rock care clinic ene dia beja so wo pe bi a kira kwan a anase wo pe hu simbisa bi mo a wo betumi afra ho ma trofo so number ne 0248 885040 0248 885040 and I'll bet me after 0244 183230 0244 183230 o from so omo ebeje so kama eye Fosua men powder memedro no Fosua men powder nsankyerani aye no wokrom ha wonte ho ensem adanse dia efa edro hu a ye friend Fosua men powder koda koje odi ko na koje odi send ye bi obi beka se seeing is believing no we no de corner koje de na ye practicals no na hwade obe pass one time quick eye fosua men powder me can say ye memedra wote ase nti ko na koje wo de eye powder na usu use no send ye tie pepepe na wa na wo de testimony wo de bebe fia na fenso no fosua men powder no eno no niema eye nie bia wonte ase a e boost libido no tia makanisa afe support stamina and endurance eboa won pem papa densa nti emfansi adom boko bema oti ase sanso de fosua cobites ewo fosua cobites wadi so ye wisi edrowe wadi so ye wisi a konna kope edro bi akira kwan wa usisi ye ya pa uje wo enje eye fosua cobites eda ebetwitwa age wo afe eye koko ede ho kro de ba no besro edro wey ye fosua cobites kona kope bi akira kwan ebebo papa ye fosua herbal mixture so ewo ho eno no eboa ema utumi tibiti eboa ma udidi kama afi wedidi awie no ne hia ne se obeda enti eboa ma utumi da kama ne akwasi broni friend insomnia ebi ejijiwa kona kope droibi fosua herbal mixture eno ena ebeboa enti from ahomatrofo so number ubetumi from esiso we bia open inquiries bi pese ubisa nsembia number ubefre esiso no 0244 017 097 0244 017 097 Samsung now betumi afre 0552 812 912 0552 812 912 na enche me bono to fa na sorry jubedie so no prostafate capsules eboa ema a prostate enlargement bema right after 40 or how back any prostate mu ensensem me pa cho say bia abakra na wo hu echirewa koda koje prostate a prostafate capsules prostate mu ensensem no one stop quick prostafate capsules koda kope bi echira kwa ebebo papa memfasa de man eni agro ebia wutube njonso person Johnson au brepa o Johnson tentem do your friend prostafate capsules and a bitcha ajiwo Solac mixture and do your friend asotwe Solac mixture so wahi fi oba niema enkoye wo hodo ba kona kope ye Solac mixture ni bi ebebo papa e mema krado hwe na rashes bi agu wahi fi rashes bi atie go ma ko na kope Solac mixture bi achira kwan. Last but not least on the list Zipman capsule memedru your friend pan from Solac mixture and that's a Solac for enchain enti no Zipman capsule used to be emame from my trophy so number is 0245 616 028 0245 616 028 and I bet me after 0261 736263 0261 736263 eti frɛ almost see an alcohol herbal shop BMA onsa ebeka edroyi ebi well yes sorry dwumadie no so na ansana me sorry dwumadie no so a very good evening to you Evans Quaff